She lights up every Aces game with energy, smiles, and unstoppable spirit. Now, while she's not on the team, Coralissa Delaforce has a number of other titles, including mother and community leader.
But she's also facing one of life's toughest battles, ovarian cancer. This morning, our anchor Abel Garcia introduces us to the woman who refuses to let cancer define her. Instead, she's using it to empower thousands.
If you've been to an Aces game, you've probably seen her. Coralissa Delaforce is front and center with the Las Vegas Aces High Rollers, bringing energy, life, and a major presence to the court. What you don't see is that this unstoppable force is in the fight of her life.
Ovarian cancer has a very high recurrence rate. So I am now on my third recurrence, and I'm now having treatment outside of Nevada. I'm going to UCLA for a clinical trial.
3 diagnoses, and Coralissa is still fighting and still smiling.
The way I've been coping is trying to figure out my whys, right? What's my why? Why do I want to continue living? Why do I want to go through 3, now 4 rounds of chemo? It's my family. I have a son who's 16, I have a husband, I have a 96-year-old mother who lives with me.
She tells me her why extends beyond her family.
The reason why I show up and fight, I have so much support. My community is so vast. Because when you get cancer, you're like, why me? It's easy to be like angry and upset. Why me, God, why me? And then I said, why not me? What better person to educate women in the masses and bring 5Ks annually to raise money for ovarian cancer.
Ovarian cancer is often called the silent killer because there's no standard pre-screenings like there is for breast cancer. Coralissa says signs like bloating and fatigue are easy to overlook, yet 1 in 78 women will be diagnosed in their lifetime. She tells me she knew something was off when she lost her appetite during triathlon training, so she got tested and got some answers.
I just wasn't hungry. You know, I was really bloated, but like again, what woman isn't bloated? I went to urgent care and I was there all day, and they're like, you know, they asked me my signs and symptoms, and that's when they're like, oh, I see tumors, you have cancer. And I was like, what? Not meeting an oncologist yet, not knowing a plan was really, really scary. And it was probably the darkest time of my life.
Coralissa says she's been treated here in Southern Nevada, but because she's platinum resistant, meaning the usual drugs no longer work, she's now receiving treatment at UCLA through a clinical trial.
I needed, for me, to find second and third opinions outside of Nevada.
Do you think that we here in Southern Nevada need more specialty care doctors? Do we need to expand some of that research,
Yes.
expand some of that development so that you don't have to go to California?
Absolutely. I wish, you know, I wish there was a big, huge hospital like UCLA, you know, that does several clinical trials, not only for ovarian cancer, for other cancer. And I'm sure there are, but there's just not as many.
Dr. Stacy McHale, a local OBGYN with nearly 20 years of experience, tells me she agrees.
Why is it that some patients are having to go out of state to find more specialty care?
So this has been a longstanding problem as well, and this goes back to the research ability that we have in our state and the ability that we have to provide things like clinical trials for patients when we don't have a large number of educational facilities that can support that. And our government has committed to expanding graduate medical education and continuing to provide funding there.
According to the Nevada Health Workforce Research Center, Clark County would need an additional 92 medical oncologists to meet national rates for these specialties.
That was 20 years ago.
Even with her ongoing treatment, Coralissa tells me she is turning her fight into community action.
To remind myself I'm not alone. I have community.
She's dancing for the High Rollers and organizing her 2nd annual Teal 5K and 1 mile walk on October 18th.
What's the biggest takeaway that you want them to get from what they're seeing here today?
I would say find your why, find what you're living for. Take it one day at a time and just breathe. Breathe through it. Find your community and be surrounded by people who will support you.
That was Abel Garcia reporting. What a powerful story there. And there really is something so special about her spirit. You can feel it through the screen.
Yeah, I know we've been to several Aces games. I've seen her on the court, and it just goes to show you never know what people are going through. So just a good reminder just to be kind to folks, because you really never know.
Exactly. Empathy is so important.